Welcome to PKC This Week. Where we talk all things professional kennel club. Found only on Cane Stream Media. Brought to you by Elite Nutrition, Joy Dog Food, and the Professional Kennel Club. Now, let's start the show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is PKC this week. I am joined, as always, every other week by the lovely Kristi. Danny, Kristi, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Tired and miserable, just like you. I know we act like it's good, but it ain't good. We're worn out.
Yeah.
We've got kids and
Totally
we've got
real.
kids and dogs and stuff. There ain't no way yeah. I just can't put any makeup on.
I'm just,
But no, we had a heck of a week last week down in Oklahoma. Zeke
yeah,
becomes the all-time money-winning blue dog for now until you get old blue cranking.
watch out. We're coming for you. No, I'm just kidding. We all know I'm not going nowhere but the house. But I do talk junk. I was
And that,
excited to see Zeke win, though. That
yeah,
is,
it
it is
it
good
was
to see.
cool. He'd done it in style. Of course, I've judged him a couple times. I've hunted with him quite a few times. Everybody knows about him now. But he don't
Mhm.
leave. He don't go all over the place. But he hits the big ones in Missouri and Oklahoma and Kansas, and that's made him the all-time money-winning blue dog, passing big country. And I got to thinking, records are made to be broken. I thought the good topic this week would be records and whether we think they will ever be broken. Did you ever think back in the big country's heyday and when he was just getting in everywhere, top six of nationals, top six world hunt, all the pro classic wins, all this huge stuff that he did, that some blue dog would come around and top him just a few short years
And
later?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I really didn't. I mean, you would think I would have with all the big money hunts there is, but I mean, when they were on their roll, they rolled.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
did. They were getting in everywhere, and I thought that's probably the best blue dog I'll ever see in my lifetime. And I'm not saying he isn't. Him and
mhm.
Zeke are kind of two different styles, I think, but both just awesome animals. Zeke's so fun to hunt with. He stays in pocket. He trees coons. He can tree coons that dogs have no idea were there, and he does it quite often. And Country had
Yes.
all that flash and dash and style, and he moved around like a rocket. He could tree every kind of coon too. Both great dogs, but in the days of $100,000 hunts and $10,000 entries and weeks like what Ward pick up this week, almost $45,000 or something like that
Some
crazy.
thousand. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
So
a lot. It was crazy.
these records that we thought would stand forever, when you look at a black and tan, I think I was growing through that stuff, and Clay Young and Tam Young, of course, with that dog over $120,000 or something like that. Second dog closest to him, I think, was the one Coy and them have that's at 50,000 or 45,000 or something like that. Maybe that
Yeah.
becomes the all-time black and tan leader, even though I never dreamed that that record would be passed.
I mean, it's really crazy. It really is. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I am interested to see if Zeke will reproduce like Country has, because when I tell you Country was bred to everything, I mean, it was like everything came off of
Yeah,
Big Country. So
yeah.
hopefully,
When you seen a dog at a high entry event, if it was over a $300 entry and it was a blue tick, or even blue tick looking, a lot of them were half and half. A lot of Walker females with the big country. Um,
yeah,
they were usually out of big country.
there's so many crosses. I mean, it was insane. So I am
Yeah.
interested to see if it'll be the
Well,
same.
I would say he's 7 years old. He's a little older than when Big Country, but that's probably not too far after Big Country started getting studded around. I think he was probably 6.
I think it's about 6.
Yeah. And And Strickland be the first one to tell you with country, it kind of shut him down in the hunts. Once they started breeding him heavy, he didn't. And a lot of males do that. That's not breed specific thing. A lot of males, when you get to breed them, are not very good in the hunts. So whether Zeke will be like that or not, some of them aren't. When you look at Engel, he's still breeding everything that he hunts all the time. And so yeah, depends on the male, but he's the new winner, the new leader. And on the Walker side, it seems like we have a chance to get a new all-time leader every week with Weed back behind Z and Crash still getting healthy and coming to every hunt. So what do you think's going to go on there? There's a big age gap there between those two.
There is a big age gap. I think that they'll just keep going tit for tat. And I think it's so funny because, same team, same owner,
Yep.
accidentally in this battle. I mean, it's
And
not
every now and then you'll
battle.
see Weed behind Crash or
Yeah,
something like that. If
exactly.
Weed's not in or dual doubled up or something like that somewhere, I think whenever Crash got in the finals to be the all-time money winner to pass Z, I think maybe Weed got him in that night
I want to say
or
he did,
something.
or there were somehow they switched up and it ended up happening. And I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
that's good."
So teammates and friends, they're doing the teammate thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could. I'd be over there stepping on Z's toe and be like, man, he's limping. I don't know
I
if you
feel
can
like
take him out tonight.
your other dog's looking a lot better. You should probably hunt it. Leave that one
Yeah,
at home.
exactly.
Nah.
When you talk about those guys, and they're both top 5 in handler earnings too.
Yes,
And when
they
we talk about records that we know they could be broken. There could be some young kid, a TJ McCulley or an Ethan King or
are.
somebody like that just goes on a big run with a big name dog and a good backer behind it.
Yeah.
And they're young. They could have a chance to catch Dustin or something like that. But Dustin has a $400,000 lead on second place, nearly $400,000.
He does. I mean, if you look at the standings, you have him over 1 million. You've got right behind him Croson, which has been hunting for ever, it feels like his
Yeah.
whole life, probably. He's been around forever. But then you've got Ward, who's coming up there. He's like
Well,
614,000. Let him have a couple more weekends like he's having. And
yeah, no
Jesus,
kidding.
I mean, Tin Cup stays healthy. He could be on up there. And then you have Dole, who just started hunting, not too long ago. And he's already up there giving them run for the money. Imagine if he hunted since he was in the youth program.
Yeah. And you look at a guy like Newell that started when he was like 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah. And he's done
He hasn't
all
been.
that
Yeah.
fast.
I think his PKC number is like 37 digits long.
It is. It's pretty long. It starts with a
And
one.
so Duel has won over $600,000 in a very short time.
Mhm.
You got Ward there. You got Weed there. Kevin Cable Jr. there. I'm talking about younger guys, Zach Burden,
Mhm.
because age is a thing.
It
It's a
is.
finite sport. You're only going to be able to follow these dogs as long as your body allows it. And so
Mhm.
for a guy like, Engel or Krausen or Yant or Bobby or Sean or someone like that that's got years on these guys, it's going to be hard to catch them.
It is. It is. It's it's
I've only got to win about $620,000 to get
I think
past Duel.
you're almost there. I have full faith. You'll catch him within the
I'm
year.
still
You're
I'm
good.
still a young guy.
Yeah. Sure.
but
Yeah, that's what we'll go with. That's what we'll go.
when you look at these youth programs and these kids that really, really, really love to hunt, you think of TJ and Ethan, like I mentioned before, Bo Kelly,
Mhm.
um, the Stollard girl.
Mhm.
There's all kinds of these younger kids that's got to be the ones that are going to have a chance
For
to
sure.
catch a Dustin Weed because they've got 15 years to catch him
Yeah.
after maybe he retires if they stay healthy, and they're just like a dog. We got to stay healthy.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. It's keeping yourself healthy. But and they're coming up in the time where these money hunts are just getting bigger,
Mm-hmm.
bigger, and bigger. So of course, hit a good lick, look where you're going to
Yep.
be at. Which there
I
is
mean,
some of the handlers on the lifetime achievement list, won $100,000 in one lick.
Yeah.
So that'll toss you on up there on the list pretty quick. But
When I look at this list and I look, down towards the middle to the bottom and some of the guys that are on the list with such big earnings that never won anything over five, six, $7,000 at a time.
yes,
That is crazy that you have a Ronnie Nickens at
yeah,
131,000. A Kenny Mason 138,000. And Kenny's been in some big hunts here the last 5, 6 years. He's paid his entries and he's got big licks and stuff too. But man, some of these guys, Bill Stokes 175,000. You don't see him around every weekend. He done it the hard way. So yeah, no,
I
it's
think the best thing
it's
he hit
amazing.
would have been
Yeah,
the truck
Sluggo.
hunt, maybe.
You don't see Sluggo at big pro classics or nothing like that. It's only super stakes, world hunt.
Mhm.
Hunts that are decent payouts, but are super, super hard to win. It ain't just win one cast and get in the money.
Yeah, it is.
Where you at on here with Blue?
Let's see, I'm right there above Anthony King for sure. I'm just kidding. I always pick it on Anthony. Always. Every time I see him, he's like, "Don't pull for me." Anytime I pull for him, he loses. If I'm against him, he wins. He's like, "You're picking someone else, right?" But there are a lot of
No,
people
it's
sitting right there at 122,000. They're all
yep.
just right on top of each other, stacked up. There's, just within $1,000, you've got Mike Carroll, Anthony King, Greg Maynard, Brett Myers. I mean,
Yep.
those are some big names just right there together.
I was looking at another one I noticed was Steve Sykes. He's on the list with 165,000. He won
You want a lot of
140 of
that.
that in one hunt.
Exactly.
And he won the $100,000 hunt. He gets in the finals the next year. I'm guessing out of those $165,000 worth of earnings, 163 of it are probably Lightning's.
Yeah.
What is Lightning's lifetime earnings? I wonder. Now that
I'm
let's
not
try to
sure.
figure that out.
Let's see. I bet I can find it. Because I remember the
He-
first year that he hunted it, he hadn't been in.
I was right. It's $164,000 for Lightning, and Sykes has 165. He won 1,000 with another dog.
Bless it. Oh, Latin.
Oh, that
He
that
looks
is
good down there.
crazy.
He does.
Yes. Everyone's
Oh,
like, "Where's Lightning at? Where's Lightning at?" I'm like, "He's waiting to take your money in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
yeah,
That's
going
where
down
he's at."
there.
If I could win a 40 grand lit guaranteed every time, just right there by my back door, I wouldn't travel anywhere either.
Heck yeah. It's kind of like every time somebody talks about Goose that Coleman
Hmm.
guys, the first thing I think is, the Goose is loose because if he's in Salem, he's going to win. Like,
Yes.
that's where he looks good all the time.
He does look good in Salem, and I've seen the dog look good other places, but it seems like whenever you tie him out at that fairgrounds in Salem, Illinois, he's like,
Something's
"Oh, I
up.
remember this. I
Yeah.
remember that was probably the most dominant final cast of a world championship I've ever seen
Yes.
or
It
heard of."
was it was crazy. It was wild. I've never seen anything like it.
I mean, I was watching the play-by-play. That was back before everything was live and all that stuff, probably the year before, actually, because I know the next year we had the super hunt and Joe was mad. He's like, "You couldn't have had this the year before." But I'm watching it and it's like Goose treed, and everything's still running. Plus him up, recut him, treed, everything's still running. Plus him up, recut him, treed. Everyone's like, "I quit."
Like, we're done. We're done. Just figure
Yeah.
it out. Let's just split the
Oh,
rest
it
of it.
it was a bloodbath. And
So,
he's done well there in a lot of hunts since super stakes, nationals, all that stuff. And when I look at these top 100 dogs, and you look at because we got to separate that from the times of pro classics or before pro
yeah,
classics, when the pro hunts were the biggest thing.
yeah,
And you look at trying to find some that were around before that. Primetime buckwheat at $100,000 back when he wasn't winning a
yeah.
bunch, just in one fell swoop. Tennessee Hard Rock, we talked about him earlier, the all-time black and land tan leader,
Mm-hmm.
which is debatable on whether they say he's out. I've heard wipeout female. I've heard all kinds of things.
I've heard
But
a couple of different.
$120,000 for Wipeout, $120,000 for Triple Creek Rat, the only dog to win nationals in the world hunt at the same time.
Mhm.
So yeah, 3D, 3D wasn't in a whole lot of. She was in two world finals, won one of them, always in at Salem. She won a good portion of hers at, Salem too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. When we're talking about records that'll never be broken, I can't, I get these top 100 dogs. It could be anybody at any time,
Yeah.
anywhere that we just, I mean, it takes $100,000 a whack.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That'll sling you right up there. I mean,
Yeah.
shouldn't
You and
it?
Blue gonna have to get a entry down to the Michael Moody.
Oh, Blue. I tell you, it's a good dog for real. You jump on it all
What
you
about
want. But
what
is it
about Jesse Lively? If that dog, because we're pretty sure he's 100% blue tick.
almost, you know,
But I don't
they
know. Do you
just,
have the crossbred um top 100?
mhm,
I might be able to find that
yeah. You got
because it
Ruby,
hasn't changed much.
Blueberry Wine,
Yeah,
Mr. Honky Tonk from Alabama, owned
yeah.
by Shable, Halftime Salt, Wicked Scar, which Scar died way too young. Could have
So
went.
did Tonk passed away too. He
That's
was
right.
only 4. Yeah, Logan
Right.
had a twisted gut or something like that. Died when he was 4,
Yeah. I mean, a
4 or
bunch
5,
of
something like that. Yeah,
big, big countries boy from South Carolina, Unknown
yeah,
Days, Bad Habits, Sambo,
yeah,
which we know Sambo was a good one for sure. I'm not
yeah.
sure if is he still alive?
No, yeah, Sambo's still alive at 13 years old. See, Robbie was actually at that first time I'd seen Robbie in a long time, but he was at Quapaw. He
Yeah.
got a dog in. He got a dog in one night down there, and he about got in the second night too. And then he sold his entry for the third night. But he told me Sambo's still alive, 13 years old.
Mm,
Sambo won the UKC World Hunt and then didn't win the UKC World Hunt. We actually did a podcast about that, and Robbie was real open about it. He's like, "Man, he did. He added a coon at zone,
yeah.
and UKC done that big investigation and took it away from him, and he took it like a champ and a man and said, "Man, I messed up. Wanted to win too bad." And I think the bad thing was the dog probably would have gotten through anyway, if I
Yeah.
remember right.
I want to say it
And
was something like that.
yeah, but yeah, and then um, Sambo reproduced some pretty good dogs too out there in the Carolinas.
Yeah, I remember everybody was breeding to him for a while there. There was a lot of Sambo pups.
Yeah,
It's a lot. Let's see, I'm
and
looking
see,
down, but most of them start with countries something.
yes,
Countries Hot Bay. There's Little River
and
Splash, Little River Blue China. They're both owned by Rivals Merge Kennels.
I
Mm,
wonder if Ruby will ever be caught there
as the well,
as the
yeah.
crossbreed leader.
I don't know because that's going to be, you know, I guess if old Blueberry Wine wins $100,000 down there, yeah,
But
he
that dog's
would
getting some
be.
age on him too. What is he, 5, 6 years old?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah.
He's getting on
But he
up
does.
there.
He's got the $100,000 hunt. I suppose there's a chance that he could catch Ruby. But man,
He'd have to
there's
pick up
not a lot of
what
yeah.
140.
Yeah. There's not a lot of crossbred dogs. They would have to win close to or over $300,000, whatever Ruby's got,
Mm-hmm.
or 280, I guess, 275, something like that.
Yeah, which will be. I still wouldn't. Don't even know if you could call the dog better than a Ruby because Ruby won it when it was hard. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. Well, she got in, and that's not counting what she won at like the Russ Meyer Memorial.
Yeah,
A
and
lot of these
places.
hunts that weren't sanctioned at the time. She
Yeah,
won, I don't know how many four wheelers at that UKC hunt where they'd go up there and rob them guys of them four wheelers. Brett won it. I think he won 37 four wheelers in a row or something up. I don't know why anybody else showed up. It was always one of Brett's dogs going up there and winning that four-wheeler.
That's about like when Ward shows up to a truck and it's like, well, just give him the
Yeah,
keys. He's
exactly.
gonna leave with it. He's got his own car
Exactly.
lot at this point. So,
And then I'm looking at here's one I don't think will ever be beaten, and that is the Curs.
I was just looking at that. There's
Yes.
a gap right there in there.
Fred Sawyer with Sawyer's Queller had a gold champion cur dog. Second place is Jimmy Ray Lee Sr. out of Oklahoma with $2,000. Is what I'm showing.
Let's see, I've got Crow's Jetta at
Oh yeah, she probably is.
2,459.
Yeah.
So
I've hunted with Jetta. That was a pretty good dog.
is
I don't think
it?
he's hunting her anymore. Yeah. She's just right up here in Iowa.
He's got a couple cur dogs, doesn't he? Doesn't
Yeah.
Derek Crow?
Derek Crow. Yeah. Derek Crow
Is
usually
it?
hunts a cur, and they're usually a pretty good cur. And then, and here's another one, the Feist. I noticed that earlier too. There's only one Feist that has ever won money in the Professional Kennel Club,
I didn't
and
even
it is
know that.
Nocturnal Chief Arthur T. Pridgeon Jr. out of North Carolina, and it has won $253. Now imagine getting beat by a Feist.
That's news
How
to me.
embarrassing would that be?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been squirrel hunting with Feist, and they're a lot more action packed than the hounds are. If I squirrel hunted, I think I'd want to walk behind one of them. But you know,
Oh, I think they're really cool dogs. I'd love to have one because they don't take up a whole lot of space. You can go treat some squirrels. You can do all that cool stuff. But to turn it loose at night with a bunch of 80-pound coon hounds and get beat by it, oh man, that would be hard to bear. But he beat somebody for $253. And I'm guessing that was more than one cast win.
it has to be. Unless it was a really big hunt somewhere. But
So
even
if
the
somebody wants to have the all-time winningest Feist, $254 will do it.
get
I
to
think
it.
I could cheat her. I think I could cheat around and get $254. I may be, I may be Feist shopping here before long. If anybody's got a coon tree and Feist that'll stay by itself and have a coon, and
Let us
just tree one, and then stay out of my light. Just got to tree one coon and stay out of my light. I can do that. 10, 12 casts and maybe win 3 or 4 of them and win that thing.
I wonder what if you look up under the leopards, it's got other. There's a dog named Bill. It's other. This one $42.75.
Nice.
And I have never noticed that either. Don't
I
know what
got
he's
Moore's
marketing.
Merle under leopard. Roy Moore with 2,500 to take over the leopards. And then you figure Buckeye Bud didn't that dog won the world championship. That was a world hunt winner. That was a plot. And there's one gold champion plot, 2 platinum champion plots. But that's a guy gets a decent plot, $47,000 to take over the all-time winner. You get a good one, get it up and down the road for a month or two at a big hunt, and you could get in and be the all-time money winning plot.
How long ago did the plot dog win the world?
It was way back in the day.
I was going to say that was way
It was
before.
it was in the 80s, I believe.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
It's
And
crazy when you go back and look
dog
at
out of West
the
Virginia, but
stats.
it won way back then and won $46,000. So
It's
what the world hunt pay back then? 20?
probably.
Yeah, so $26,000 of it. Dog won quite a bit of money for when it was being campaigned.
I'd
I bet it
say,
was a good one.
I bet it was. And I'd say it probably got bred too.
Yeah. And here's the thing, and I love the Redbone guys, but they're behind the plot. They're all time winning
They
in dog.
are.
I've got Pistol in there at $37,000.
So they go. So that would be, boy, they're going to annihilate you if you talk about the red phones.
Oh, I know. I know. I do all the time. I love them though. I've
Did you see where
drawn
the
some good.
red phones
I've
were
been.
in the music video the other
Yeah.
day? Did you see that?
What video was it?
a music video. Tony Dominguez's dogs were in a music
Oh
video. I
yeah,
was like, that's pretty cool.
yeah, that was pretty cool. Who was that artist? I can't remember now.
Remember to save my
It was
life.
somebody I didn't like their music. I remember that, but I knew it was cool that he was holding a couple red bones. I'm like,
I
his
did.
music sucks, but at least he got some coon dogs.
He's trying. He's trying.
Yeah, but I've been beat by Pistol. That's a good dog.
Yeah.
Drawn him a few times. He's always down at the Texas at the Lone Star Pro Classic there, and he treed I think three coons to my two. Last time I was down there and drew him, I was hunting scent and thought I had him beat. Going into the last tree, and I knew I had a coon, and he trees one in the last 5 minutes to beat me. I didn't think he was going to get treed. And good dog. Bugs was a good dog. I got to hunt with her quite a bit when Jack was hunting her. Never hunted with G-Man, but of course, Reserve Super Stakes champion. He's done a lot. Callie, good dog. Rage, Derek Call. Um, yeah. So there's been a lot of good red bones.
For sure.
What's the difference? How come there's tree and cur? Oh, I guess they're walker crosses
Oh.
because there's two tree and curs with money one in PKC. One's got 270 and one's got 54.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm just gonna get a feist and a tree and cur,
Well,
maybe a plot.
with the time changing like it is, you go hunt your squirrel dog when you get off work. By the time you come out to start, you just hunt a coon
Yeah,
dog. So I mean, might as well have a dual purpose dog. Just
I
do both.
I bred one of my male dogs to a cur female here locally. Good squirrel dog too. There's a kid down the road. I done it for a male pup, and man, he looks like the prettiest plot dog with a bobtail you've ever seen in your life. I bet the sucker would probably be a pretty good coon dog. I need to go get him. I'm gonna Indian give him back from that little kid that I that I gave him to.
So again, I'm gonna need to get that, please. I'm gonna need to get
Yeah.
it. Try to break a record. You can have it again.
Yeah, let me have that thing. I'll give him back to you here in about $260.
Hmm.
But no, the records are cool. PKC does such a good job. And kudos to everybody in the office for keeping track of this stuff.
It's a lot to keep track of, and to go back and look at it, the stats and everything. It's crazy to be able
Yeah.
to have a history, and I mean, I love to look at it. I'm sure other people do too.
Whenever we were doing the top 10 male, females, all that stuff, um, you were sending me, and it was awesome because I could count up cast wins for dogs like Mill Creek Molly and Halftime Ruby and all these awesome dogs. I mean, Molly had like over 330 PKC cast wins
It's
and over
crazy.
100 UKC cast wins. Imagine a dog with over 400 and some cast wins. That's crazy. Meltdown had an obscene number of cast wins too. Ruby as well. I mean, it was crazy to go back and look at that. And the fact that we have records for all that is just really cool.
Yes. I think we even pulled like how many pups they had and everything like that. I
Hmm.
mean, it was like really crazy. Got detailed on how much the pups had won. It was like it was a
Let's
lot of
talk about
looking.
let's talk about that real quick before we close this out, and that is the all-time reproducers list because that's
Yeah.
something that's always interested me too because there's so many factors that go into that. Did you breed just every single female that paid a stud fee? Did the pups go into good hands? Did all that stuff? And so you look at dogs, and of course Zeb 3's number one.
Mhm.
I've got him as the number one reproducer of all time, um, by far. When you look at Zeb 3's numbers, only 600 pups, $2 million in earnings. That's crazy. I don't have the averages here on this deal because of the new website, but I think he was over right around $2,000 a pup or something like. I mean, it was something nuts.
Yeah.
And then you look at Rat, who threw $2,500 or 2,500 pups with less earnings
Yeah.
total, and then Bone Collector, same way. But then you got Cuz sitting there, and Cuz is at 559 pups with over 1.3 million. But a lot of his pups were in the era of holy crap, we're winning $100,000 at a time
Yeah.
too. And so there's a lot. Rodeos in there with only 900 some pups. Willie, Big Money, Power Pack, Harry, Trackman, Shaq. And I never thought, I knew Shaq was a good reproducer, but I always liked the Mafia pups better than Shaq. But that's a deal where the Shaq pups got you figure $100,000 just because of Clyde in one hunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so great reproducer. He reproduces dogs like Clyde and several others. But then you look at Mafia, who never got those dogs. Shaq never got entered in $100,000 hunt. He never really got that chance.
Yeah.
Who do you think's the best reproducer of all time, Kristi? Walker wise.
Walker wise. I mean, you'd have to go with the numbers. I mean, it would have,
Yeah.
it.
All right, we had some technical difficulties. It was actually on my end. We did get back on there. That file didn't save, but Kristi did pick Zeb 3. She also said, don't forget about the ladies. The females, as we all know, have a big part in that reproduction category. So thanks for joining us this week for PKC This Week, and we'll see you at the next one.